Hey guys, it's RCK, and I'm glad to have you back here again today. I apologize for the shortcoming of videos lately. I've started a new job very recently, and it's been very difficult to get to the computer, do my turns, and record at the same time. But I do plan on recording a bunch of videos on the weekend and then disperse them out throughout the week. Hopefully that will suffice. I definitely plan on continuing doing YouTube for sure. It's just a little busy time in my life at the moment, but I do plan on getting a lot of videos in this week and definitely scheduling them for the week to come. But we're going over the next turns for MA Asphodel. If you remember, this was the last video that came out from my channel. At this point, we left off. We were under siege. Our second castle was under siege. And I expected them to go ahead and storm it this turn, so we'll watch one of those battles. Other than that, we have moved our entire army back to our capital. This is basically going to be our last stand. There is a couple of key research points that we're definitely trying to get to. The first one being Enchantment 5 to get Foul Vapors and Horde of Skeletons, while the second one we're going to be trying to get to, it would be Alteration 6, I think. I don't think it's 7, I believe it's 6, and that is going to be for Darkness. Just because my chaff are very, very weak, and Darkness will definitely help turn the tide in our favor, or at least evening out the battlefield. Because everything that doesn't have night vision is going to get what 3 to 4 minus or negative 3 to 4 stat penalty on their stats altogether, whereas our units have Spirit Sight, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Spirit Sight and not 100% Dark Vision, and we won't take any penalties, so we'll be about average compared to them at that point. So we'll go ahead and watch the first battle here, and Asphodel Jotunheim is attacking us, and all they're sending in is a Wolf Scout, and they are just running away. All this was a ping, and all they see is, I believe this is 12 PD on our capital. I'm not entirely sure. Um, this was what was already on there. Our capital hasn't been sieged yet. If it had been sieged at this point, I would have just put one there, just one PD. And then we'll watch the second Jotunheim battle, and then we'll watch the fortress battle last. If you remember, we actually left absolutely nothing in the fortress. Everything we have moved out. And this is just another mage here, a diseased mage at that, just pinging, I assume, feeble-minded. They have really no reason to keep this mage since it has no magical paths anymore. And I guess they just want to see what PD we had run in the province. And this was our one of the cataphract provinces that was already PD dumped in. And then we will watch the battle in the fortress. But yeah, if you remember in the previous episode, we've already moved everything out of the fortress. All that we have is the archers on the wall, and then we have the centaur hierophant here, just a death one, holy one, and then the other centaurs. They're just centaurs. Hoof, bronze dagger, longbow. These are the bow versions. So this is all that we're going to have here. Attack skill 10, defense skill 13. They're going to be shooting with their longbows. They're okay. And we don't get too many, so what? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we have our commander, and they're bringing a fairly significant force to us. I believe this is about 80 or 90, maybe pushing 100 of the Spirehorn warriors, and then they have a few Storm Guard with them, of course. I think the Storm Guard are on guard commander, wherever he is at. Yep, they have a Storm General. And we will go ahead and zoom out some and play the battle. We have our Hierophant casting Skeletal Body. Our archers are opening fire. Casting Animate Dead. I'll go ahead and put it on fast forward or double speed at least. So we have the flyers dropping down already. They're really not able to get much surface onto our defenders just due to the fact of us being on the wall and them also being size 3 units that are standing on the wall, so they can actually only fight 2 to a square versus 2 of our centaurs to a square, since they are size 3, and our centaurs are also size 3. And then while we look at the stats, that we share the same attack skill, our defense skill is 1 higher, a lance weapon, whereas we have our short bows and a hoof and a bronze dagger attack. If I can actually click on them here, yeah, hoof, bronze dagger, and a longbow. So at least we'll be getting 2 attacks off of them when they'll be, or we're getting 4 attacks off when they can only be getting 2 attacks off. And then we'll also be shooting our longbow every turn. And then someone left this in a comment, but actually the defenders on the wall will have infinite ammo, which was quite interesting. I've never really paid attention to it, but it does make sense now that it's said. And also, these are the Storm Guard and Storm General, Guard Commander in the back. I think they're on hold, attack closest for the General anyway. And we will continue playing the battle. And like I mentioned before, all the birds are doing is just jumping up and down around the walls because they can't actually get on the walls. It looks like we do have 2 over here on the bottom side of the map attacking our centaurs, and then we have another 2 up here. But even if our centaurs are out, they still have to fight through these units. We're looking at 4 left. We still have our commander at least, so I don't think we have routed at this point since these guys haven't ran away. And we go ahead and catch there. We've been actually casting Frighten this entire time, and the armies of Calum are routing. So I guess at this point we've got enough good hits, and their general has actually routed, surprisingly, which is going to cause the rest of them to rout, and they're going to be out of here fairly quickly. And there they all go, and we have 3 defenders left. That was a excellent castle defense. Not much on our part that we actually did, but we did hold against 80 Calum troops, and we only had 9 centaurs and a centaur hierophant. So pretty good. That was a nice, just kind of holding them back an extra turn for us. Other than that, we have a event happen, gold and gems, which is nice, and then the entrance is still breached, of course, because they still have the army sitting on there. It seems like Calum is definitely going for our northern front, as Jotunheim is still back here in the Filegran area. I believe they just cleared up Filegra, and they are moving this way, somewhere along here. And that is where we were pinged. We still have a little bit of land here and there, but we're not going to try to really hold it. As far as our research goes, we're getting 479 research points per turn. Hopefully enough, we'll be hitting Alteration 6 very soon. We do have Foul Vapors and Horde of Skeletons already, which is going to be very excellent for us, due to the fact of us being attacked by very, very weak troops or small-sized troops, being the Calum Spirehorn Warriors. They only have a hit point pool of 10 each, and then it looked like Jotunheim was using a fair amount of his Veti troops, and they have a relatively low HP as well. Yes, he is going to be having giants in there, and the giants, they're not really going to be affected much by the Foul Vapors, just due to the fact of them having so much HP. Yeah, they're going to be hit for 1 or 2 per turn, but I mean, they're still sitting at such high HP, they're really not going to care about it unless the battle goes extremely long. But other than that, very dependent on hitting Alteration level 6. More than likely, we will be having to do battles before then, but fingers crossed that we'll be able to hold out. Lots of mages here, lots of stuff going on, and I do mention to you guys that we did miss a turn since this is not a bot game. This was on a server that wasn't using the bot, so I wasn't able to have the bot send me the turns, everything. I had to manually do it every time, and I did forget one of them, but I do have the battle report saved where I screenshotted it and sent it to somebody. But no matter how many battle reports I sent or showed off, nobody will come to help us, of course. They were too into their own things, I assume, but they'd rather be in a 2v1 against a player that has just their home island than possibly beating a player that's going to be having 4 caps here shortly. But it is what it is with their armies away, and we'll do significant damage. This is actually some of the Jotun forces here. You see all these Vedi troops. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, we would definitely be dealing with those with the foul vapors when they come. And we're just really reanimating as much as we can and getting as many centaurs as we can. Like, we just want the regular centaur warriors, not the black centaurs, because we don't have a bless. If you remember correctly, we have inspirational 1 and leadership 30, which is garbage for us. Especially since we were sitting on 100 black centaurs before I joined the game, and then the turn that I joined on, we lost everything. It was pretty bad. Um, Tough decision to put these guys on Awaken or Research, but I feel like definitely if we're going to be winning battles, we're going to be needing a Research versus the mannequins because they're such garbage. We do have 2 water random hags here. So if one does die in a battle and we do end up winning the battle, we will be able to have one in a second battle. Or do we just have one? There's another one right there. I was mistaken. So that was really good. Other than that, not too much. I do vaguely remember moving this weightless scale male either to my pretender or if I just take it off altogether, just to make sure that they will not be getting anything from us if we do lose the battle. We really didn't have anything of any importance, any items made. I don't even think we have construction 2. We have a berserker belt and we have a barrel of air, which is stuff we have got through random events. Let's look through. We do actually have construction to it now. We might not have before, but we might have had just construction 2, but it would be nice to have construction 4. We definitely would have been helped Phlegra out a whole lot more by making him vine shields, rings of regeneration, things like that. But oh well, yeah, he's already gone. So we will be heading over to next turn, being turn 35. Continue old game. 35. Message from Jotunheim. Just some talking. I don't know. I really don't read messages unless they're saying they're ending a nap. So we have another battle here in the fortress, and I'm not going to look at this. We do end up losing it. We lost all of our province defense for the castle, and they lost 8 Spirehorn warriors. We found a magic site. We found 6 astral pearls, and we had a random event, but our PD was very strong apparently in that province, so we were able to take out the troglodytes surprisingly. Let's see what we got. We have a deepest cave in the province, so we got the extra earth gem per turn, but that really won't matter much. Our magic or our gem income is abysmal at the moment, just because of how much land we've lost, and I don't think we've done very much site searching. I mean, doing Astral 1 site searching, really, when you're sitting there with a... I mean, you really don't need to search with an Astral 5, but or a Nature 5, but searching with a Nature 3 and a Def 2 would have been very nice. Searching Earth, searching Water and Death, and or Nature 2. We could have done much better than we did. But we had some Nature 3 search there. And I guess I must have edited a turn, and we expected them to move from this province here being a 38 to 23, and we had a decent amount of PD in it, thinking that they were moving there, but they weren't. I must have saved the turn and redone it later. But since they just sat there, we will be moving back into our capital. We definitely wanted to be on the surprise there. We don't want them to know that we were coming at that point. Still have everyone on research. Probably could have got our research done maybe a turn sooner if I wouldn't have spent 2 turns, 1 turn moving, and then 1 turn moving back all these researchers here, because this is a significant amount of research points that we did waste. We do have alteration 4 at least, so we will have a swarm access to us. We'll be able to cast that very easily. Other than that, we will be 1 point short of getting Alteration 5 next turn, which Alteration 5 really isn't that big of a deal for us. Yeah, I mean, Wooden Warriors, that would have been the only thing we would have cast. And even then, I probably would have rather them cast Horde of Skeletons than Wooden Warriors, just to have more bodies on the field. So, not too much going on this turn. Still same amount. Oh, we already just looked at that. Not many gems at all. I think I turned all the gems I had into nature gems to produce a few more of the Carrion Lords, which you see now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And he is twice born. Yep. So hopefully we'll be losing him soon because he does cost a fair bit. 240 gold a year. So you divide that by 12, and that's how many you get per. That's how expensive he is per turn. We'll be able to make around 50 units per turn. Not too bad. This was the previous turn was one of the turns where we had to send off most of our gold and gems and stuff, most of our def gems over to Pangea. I don't want to get into that right now. I don't remember if I talked about it in the previous episode, but the previous players took a deal that I probably wouldn't have ever took, and then I was the one that had to pay for it. After this other player has died, all the money's kind of gone. So, very unfortunate for us. But it will be okay. Trying to make sure, yeah. So that will be all. Not too much going on for turn 35, and we will head over to turn 36. I've been trying to save a lot more games on this computer, but I still have a lot on my laptop. So we have a battle here in Asphodel, and we'll go ahead and watch it. This is the entire Kalem force coming to attack us, and we have 12 PD here. The interesting thing that we want to be looking at right now is what these mage actually have on them. A whole lot of air gems, it would seem. Air 3s with air gems. A whole lot of air 2s with air gems. This is a very, very high investment of air gems for every mage we just looked at. They all have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What was that? 32 air gems. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I believe that's. I believe that. No, and there's another one. So 36 air gems. That's air 4. More than likely, they're going to be casting Storm, Summon Storm Power, and then they're going to be casting maybe. Not lightning elementals. What are they called? Nah. Hold on, let's look. I don't know why the word is escaping me at the moment. Oh, I apologize. That is my phone, and I clicked on the wrong thing. Yeah, air elementals. I don't know why I couldn't think of it at the time. That's why I assume is going to happen. It's going to be very, very difficult for us. There's a lot to deal with. All these guys should they're probably all, no, we're under siege. So they can't actually awaken mannequins right now. This looks like the Jotunheim force has attacked. Took very few losses. I didn't think they would. They lost a Vedi Hag. So well, they got the werewolf from it. Yeah, so just a Vedi Hag, really. So very unfortunate. But there is there's 470 birds on our capital wolf, 444. That's how you can tell the scouting report's wrong. But yeah, this is a very big force. Hopefully enough we will be able to hold out. We're sitting at 622 units. This is kind of how our unit, how we're looking. 2 big blobs of chaff on either side. We're going to be breaking out of the fort this turn. All the Carrion Lords and Dryad Hags we have here in the middle, and they're all casting a Poison Ward, so that we'll be able to cast Foul Vapors and not have to worry about our mages and our centaurs dying. And then we have our other Carrion unit there. We have a decent amount of these carrion beasts, the elephant versions. That they're pretty decent. The other ones, like these little guys, I mean, they're pretty trash. Attack skill 5, defense skill 4. Very, very weak. Uh, these guys okay because they have a claw and their gore attack dealing pretty 16 damage, but their attack skill is 6, defense skill is 6. I mean, the birds seeing a defense skill of 12 and an attack skill of 10, they're just gonna be able to just dodge everything we have. Hopefully enough, it's going to be these Centaurid warriors that are going to be dealing the damage. Nope, that's the wrong one. I must have recruited some that didn't have Berserker on them because I thought I got all the Berserking ones, but I might have already had those. I'm not entirely sure. And we will be having them break siege this turn, but it turns out that this next turn is going to be a turn I didn't say, but I can explain to you what happened in the battle, and I can also show you what the battle report was. Which one is that one? Okay, now that should be up now. If you look here, we lost a heavy amount of Dryad Hags. We lost our Twice-Born Panic Apostate, 2 Black Centaurs, lots of Carrion Beasts, which is chaff, 28 Centaur Warriors, unfortunate. Centaurid Warriors, we lost 9. Harpies, they are very trash. We lost 76 of them. The rest of these mannequin kills, not really worried about. And, that's really where most of our deaths came from. It sucks that we lost 28 Centaur Warriors and Centaurid Warriors, and then we lost the 7 Dryad Hags. That was very painful. But 5 of the Kalian Seraphs did die. Lots of their Air 2s. If you notice, the High Seraphs, they had 525 kills. Well, what happened with that is that I don't remember if one of them or both of them cast it at separate occasions, but they did cast Perpetual Storm on top of having Storm Up, and that was very, very bad for us. If anyone knows, Perpetual Storm, like tons of lightning bolts will start striking the ground all over the battlefield, and then if Storm is up, it's going to double the amount of lightning bolts hitting the ground. So that is what really tore up our line there for our mages, and that's really the reason why we lost so many of those guys. Other than that, I feel like if I would have spread them out a little bit more, we would have been fine. But at that point, having them spread out, I really wanted them to cast the poison resistant spell that costs 1 nature gem to really get covered on the Black Centaurs and Centaur Warriors. So ups and downs there, but they did lose 314 Spiralhorn Warriors. I mean, which in total, you're looking at 3,000, 1,400 gold. So a pretty significant loss for them, along with the 5 Seraphs. And yes, the Dryad Hags is a very big loss, but I believe overall we came out on the gold side. I didn't do the math on this, but I'm pretty sure we're come out winning the gold fight here. They lost more gold than we did, which is quite interesting in a situation like this, since we're not actually killing our Dominion, since this is a Disciples game. So it's interesting to think of it like that we're more gold-based than we are chaff and unit-based, or free spawn-based. But overall, I mean, it sucks we lost this much chaff, but being able to throw Calum off, I mean, they have around maybe 100 units left. I don't think they'll be able to really force us out of our castle at this point. Jotunheim's going to have to move in. It's very unfortunate that I did not have this battle replay, but it will be alright. We will... actually, I believe this is the last episode anyway. I will try to get another episode out to you guys very quick and show you some very large battles that's going to be happening. And I'll take that off, and I will head back over to the game. And that was turn 36, and of course the battle will happen on turn 37. We're still researching this. It's dropped down some because a lot of our researchers are going to fight this turn. 244. So we'll be going into Alteration 5. Hopefully enough, in 2 to 3 turns we'll be getting Alteration level 6. Because we'll have all these guys left over. We'll have all 4 of these guys. So we should be okay. And the mage that lived is actually or is it one that died? I can't remember if our water mage here died or not, our foul vapors mage. But we did have two more. We did get another random off of one of them. The one that we recruited last turn turned out to be a water 1 mage, so we do have extra backups. But I'm pretty sure, like, as soon as we put Foul Vapors up, they put Perpetual Storm up, and we just got shot with a bolt of lightning, and our Foul Vapors was over. That was very, very unfortunate for us, because that was our whole plan on winning that battle. And of course, we did end up winning the battle, just we took more losses than I would have liked to have taken. And we had a random ethereal knight that we got from an event. Yeah, a Grey Lord. And we just sent him to attack a province. I probably should have sent him over here, honestly, but my assumption was that the Jotunheim troops was going to move on to our fortress or something along those lines. So we will see. But I feel like they were fairly confident at this point they were going to be taking this. So it turns out the Jotunheim forces move here, and I think they're going to crush our commander that we got. He came with 2 knights as well, so that would have definitely have taken 38, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little sub video. If you saw when we're going through, we still have a lot of turns to do. I'm actually still alive in the game. So it's pretty fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to come back next time, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment as well. Have a good one.